Okay, alrighty. So, since everyone's been going on about the Pope's death, I thought that I would do a video on it. So, we could just watch some videos together. I don't really know if I have any opinions because, okay, so I guess I do. Never mind. So, let's just find a video. Let's find a video, a great video to watch on the Pope's passing.
Francis opened the door, signifying the Jubilee year, and he is now the only person to never close the holy door back. If you remember last year on December 24th, before the Pope opened the Jubilee door, I explained to you that he probably shouldn't, as this has a very significant meaning outside of the Catholic Church. So these holy doors are said to be open every Jubilee. And it's weird because the Jubilee, the book of Jubilees, is actually in the Apocryphal, which they don't even recognize as real bibliography. So how are they following a Jubilee that apparently is a Jubilee year? It doesn't sound good. A lot of stuff happens on Jubilee years, and there's a very dark side to the Jubilee, and it's not the Catholicism that everyone knows as the 50-year or 25-year tradition that marks forgiveness when they open these doors. That is why the Pope never got to close it, because this Jubilee year is the one from the hidden books of the Bible or the Apocryphal. If you don't know anything about the Book of Jubilees, it is actually a very significant book that was removed by the Vatican in the Bible. Book of Jubilees is an angel's revelation to Moses as Moses ascends on Mount Sinai. The Bible, a Jubilee is not 25 years, it was 49 years, or they were called Jubilees. And they provide exact dates for a biblical narrative containing biblical stories and laws. Remember, Mount Sinai is where God gave Moses the Ten Commandments. Was the Mosaic covenant, and there was a very
sorry. I should have paused it. Let me just go back a little bit because this cat Salem is always trying to scavenge for food. So he was just in the baby's high chair trying to see if he could sniff out any food, and there's no food in there. Like, get out my baby's high chair.
Very strong symbol, the Mosaic containing biblical stories and laws. Remember, Mount Sinai is where God gave Moses the Ten Commandments. Was the Mosaic covenant, and there was a very strong symbolic meaning when the Vatican had Pope Francis open this Jubilee holy door, and it's not going to close for a reason. Sinai is considered a sacred mountain by three major religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Pope unleashed a whole new set of demons. I'm letting you know right now. Those three religions that coincide with the Ten Commandments, the Mosaic laws, and Mount Sinai from the Book of Jubilees, we will all meet our revelation. That's why we're witnessing politics and Christianity collide, allegedly. I'm just reading you a book. None of this is true. Come back for another story. Francis opened the door, signifying
a very interesting video. Do I have any comments? No, I don't. Because, as I said, I wasn't really into the Pope because I get evil vibes, and I've gotten evil vibes from him ever since I was a kid. So
now, I'm not saying that JD Vance off the Pope, but look at me. Sunday, on the day that God's son Jesus de Nazareth has risen, the devil himself, JD Vance, walks into the Pope's church for a meeting. This has to be the biggest paradox ever. And I think it was just hours, 4 hours after the Pope met JD Vance, he's gone to go tell the Lord in person about the bullshit that is going on earth right now. Wasn't JD Vance arguing with the Pope before this on Twitter? Because the Pope didn't support Trump's administration's views specifically on immigration and mass deportation. And JD Vance, who by the way just became a Christian in 2019, feels like he knows more than the Pope. And he genuinely believes that you know, mass deportation and religion goes hand in hand. He called them a disgrace. Hold on, I found an article. Mind you, the Pope had been recovering from double pneumonia. Sorry. The Pope and Vatican officials have criticized several of the policies of President Donald Trump's administration, including his plans to deport millions of migrants from the U.S. and his widespread cuts to foreign aid and domestic welfare programs. Did y'all even get to see the footage of J.D. Vance meeting the Pope? Like, it just felt awkward to watch. And I'm like, but what is like actually happening here? And just like that, literally hours later, the Pope has gone to meet the Lord. If this doesn't prove to you that J.D. Vance is evil, I don't know what does. But in all seriousness, rest in peace to the Pope. Now, I'm not saying that J.D.
So, I love this content creator, by the way. But as I was saying, I don't know. I was hearing that, you know, people were saying that, you know, there was a prophecy that the Pope would die or something like that, like after being visited by the Antichrist. And so J.D. Vance was the one that visited him, and now everyone believes that he is the Antichrist, right? I don't know. I believe the Antichrist is Elon Musk, only because when I say his name, strange things happen. But unlike his energy and just like, I don't know, but I don't know, he might not be, you know. Even Trump has potential to be the Antichrist. Like, whatever, I don't know. Maybe J.D. Vance is the Antichrist. Who knows? But I do think it's strange that the Pope died right after that handshake, and I heard that there was significant meaning in that handshake too. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories floating around right now in regards to that. I personally haven't gone into that energy, and I don't know, I feel like that's a very eerie energy to be in. Like, I don't get good vibes from the Pope. I don't. So it's like, it's giving dark graveyard energy. Sorry, I thought something just moved. But anyways, let's find another movie. Not movie. Another thing to watch about the Pope. Is this the J.D. Vance speech with the Pope?
So good to see you. Yeah, thank you. Happy Easter to you, Father. I know you've not been feeling great, but it's good to see you in better health.
Thank you very much for your visit.
Of course. And thank you for seeing me.
What the hell?
So good to see you.
The hell?
Yeah, thank you. Happy Easter to you, Father. I know you've not been feeling great.
Oh no. Okay, let's see. Let us see. Oh, you know what I wanted to watch? I wanted to watch. I don't want to watch anything that brings out fear in the peeps. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about him opening the portals, because I seen this video and it was so interesting. Let's see if I can find it again. It was with a fellow speaking. Maybe it's this.
So you guys know how the Pope just opened the holy door, which is allegorical to opening a portal. You see, I noticed a few things, and I want to know if you guys caught this. Let's check this out. Now, to me, it looks like the Pope just got in the chair right before they opened the door. But that's just me. You know Shakespeare's most famous quote, that the world is a stage. But second off, why does the Pope look scared? Why does he look afraid? Aren't you the vigor of Christ? Does the story of Jesus sound like a man that walked around with fear? No, he moved with confidence, knowing that he is connected to God. Why does the Pope look like he's stressing? Look at that. So as I'm paying attention and listening, I hear bells, y'all. Bells. Remember my bell video? They removed all the bells in the world. Why does the Vatican have bells? Remember, bells are used to ward off negative energies. negative frequencies. So why does the Vatican need to keep away negative energies if you're directly connected to God? The other thing I heard was some yelling or some crying right before he is wheeled into the building. I want you to listen for the bells and for the yelling and or crying. Let me know, y'all. And when the guy's coming to push him in, he looks even more stressed. Look at his face, y'all.
He actually does
Look at his face. He looks even more stressed going into that building. Like, how long has it been since he's been in there? The Pope looked like he was sent on a mission and he doesn't even know what he's getting himself into. Isn't that what he looked like to y'all? Am I tripping? And I believe there's another portal he's supposed to open up in January, y'all. I can't wait to see his face on that one. So what do you guys think about this video? Please let us know down in the comments below. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace out. So you guys know how the Pope...
No, he really did look scared. Like, you just see his face when he was going in. Like, why? They should have pushed him in quicker. I'm joking. That's not nice. Oh, God, let's listen to her.
Hey, my beautiful people. So, when the Pope opened up those holy doors, that was confirmation that purgatory is real. I knew it was real, but y'all the ones who need the confirmation. So there is a video of the Pope opening up the holy doors, and people are saying that they can hear what sounds to be like a child saying, "Help me." I looked at the original video, and when the doors open, while he's sitting in a wheelchair, standing in front of the threshold, I did hear "Help me." I probably heard it about 5 times. Then I heard it a final time when he walked through the threshold. I heard "Help me." So why this confirms purgatory is real is because the reason why he opened up the holy doors is because 2025 is what they call Jubilee. And it was in a Rome prison. So basically, this is the year 2025 where people can come there and wipe their slate clean of sins. While you trying to help people in present time, why haven't you went and got the ones that's in purgatory out first? So that's why you heard "Help me," because they're like, why are we still here? And I can 100% tell you that the voice that you heard is a saint that's being venerated right now for their purposes. So basically, the Pope needs to help those in the past before you let others come in with their problems and wiping their slate clean. You need to give a pardon. Hey, my beautiful people.
What?
Today, the Pope just opened one of the holy doors. Now, if this door is considered to be holy, why is it even closed? Now, I wonder, what is he looking at? Because we can't see what he's seeing. But when he opened the door, I heard someone or something scream, "Help me." Now, as you can see, he covered his eyes. He didn't even want to see what was behind that door. Now, they're saying it's a holy door, portals, whatever it is. But if it's holy, it should have been closed in the first place. I don't know what's about to happen or what's about to go on, but something is up. And that door is a pretty big door. Who knows what's about to come? Shh. Don't you say it. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just letting everybody know that today the Pope opened one of the holy doors. Everybody knows this. This is public knowledge. I mean, we would just have to wait and see. If he doesn't want to look, neither do I. I don't know what's going on over there, and I don't even want to know. It's none of my business. Let me look further into this. I gotta go. Today, the Pope just opened one of the holy doors.
Now that is absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Let me just scroll up a little bit because I want to see if I.
Yeah, them people didn't open up one of them goddamn doors today. Yeah, that's what's going on. Remember how I told you the Vatican was going to do this ritual? I mean, tradition where they open these doors for the Jubilee. And one of them was opened today, St. Peter's Basilica, and they consider it to be a sign of hope. But specifically, the door that they opened was to a fucking jail. It's one funny looking fucking door. We can take it at face value and what they're saying. This door was open for to bring in hope, not giving up this St. Peter's Basilica door. But in all actuality, if you don't know anything about St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican and St. Peter's Square, you wouldn't know why this is crazy. For one, the place where they just opened that door to usher in the new whatever the fuck they're trying to usher in, yeah, that was actually a place for dead popes. Mummified, covered in wax, bona fide corpses that they keep under St. Peter's Basilica. These holy people that have atrocious pasts at the Vatican. Close that fucking door. Close it. It's not even the tip of the iceberg because that door is at one of the center points for the ancient Egyptian obelisk that sits right in the middle of St. Peter Basilica Square, the stolen ancient Egyptian obelisk at that. While these doors are being opened and everyone's like, oh, this is great for the economy. No, they're about to activate some shit. Yeah, there's an obelisk from Egypt that was brought to Rome by the Emperor Caligula in the 37th AD, and it sits right in the middle of where those corners are for those doors that are being opened in St. Peter's Square. That's not just any ancient Egyptian obelisk. It's also called a sundial, and its shadows mark noon over the signs of the zodiac. Yeah, that obelisk is surrounded by these 4 lions, each with 2 bodies whose tails intertwine. So if you look in the middle there, that's the obelisk. And those doors, oh yeah, they're all in the corners. And the door that they just opened just so happens to be where all the dead popes are chilling. They're chilling up under the St. Peter's Basilica. Yeah, but you know, happy Kwanzaa. I'm gonna do a part 2 because y'all don't even want me to get started. Y'all know I'm the OG Vatican girl. Y'all already know what they do.
So what? The dead popes came to get him? Hold on, I was gonna make sure I like.
So you guys know how the Pope just opened.
Let's listen to this young lady's.
On Christmas Eve, the Vatican and the Pope are opening up 5 spiritual portals that have never been opened up before. And this feels really dark. One of the portals is Lucifer's tomb, and they're live streaming that on Christmas Day. These are the keys to the portals, and they're just like live streaming this for everyone to see. I don't even understand what's happening. And one of these portals is Lucifer's tomb. Lucifer's tomb? On Earth? In a portal? If they've never been opened before, maybe there's a reason why they've never been opened before. And why now? What's significant about right now? Why are we opening them now? Like, what is inside these portals? With everything going on in the world, why are we opening these portals? And why are we messing with Lucifer's tomb? And on Christmas, on Jesus's birthday, I know there's like speculation on if Jesus was actually born on Christmas, and it sounds like he actually wasn't, but just like on the day we celebrate Jesus's birthday, we're gonna be opening
Salem.
What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna update you on what they discover. Come over here for more content. On Christmas Eve, the Vatican and the...
He has some nerve. Well, guys, ooh. Oh, let's watch her.
Pope Francis just passed away, and the conspiracies are rife. Now, people are pointing to the prophecy of the popes by Saint Malachi, who lived in the 13th century. And essentially, Saint Malachi prophesized who every single pope was going to be until the very last pope, and the very last pope indicated the end times. Now, everyone is saying that Pope Francis is indeed that very last pope. And there's a number of things that do indicate that he is indeed the very last pope that was prophesized. So are we in the end times? Now, one of the most interesting things is that the prophecy states that the very last pope is going to confront tribulations. And a lot of people are saying that these tribulations are interpreted as the very last pope is going to confront the Antichrist before dying. Now, Pope Francis just had a meeting with J.D. Vance right before passing away. A lot of people are indicating that J.D. Vance is indeed the Antichrist, and this is indeed the end times. So what's my interpretation about all of this? I actually do believe that we are in the end times. Whether you are Christian or Catholic or just spiritual and open-minded, it is very clear that things that have been prophesied, things that have been talked about in the book of Revelations are currently taking place. Things that I was channeling 10 plus years ago are all taking place right now. And so the reason why I'm not freaked out that we are indeed in the end times is because the end only ever indicates the beginning. Physics will tell us that energy never dies. It's only renewed. It's only, recirculated into a different form. So what does that mean for us right now? It means that we have a new beginning upon us. And part of that new beginning comes down to not just the Antichrist, but Christ's consciousness. A lot of people have been speculating that Jesus is going to come back during the end times. And this is something that I remote viewed a long time ago. I was raised Catholic, so I wanted to know the answers. And what came through was that no, Jesus, the ascended master, the guy, the man, the myth, the legend, he's not going to reincarnate as a human. But the frequency of Christ consciousness absolutely is coming back. And it's coming back in the form of all of us. If you want to know more about Christ consciousness and about the Antichrist, Nostradamus, Dolores Cannon, and other prophecies that have been talked about, head on over to my YouTube video that literally is called End Times, The Last Pope. Or if you want an ad-free experience, hop on over to my website to watch the whole thing. Get your mind blown, and don't forget to follow this channel. Pope Francis just...
That was pretty interesting. That was pretty interesting. Guys, honestly, I'm not crazy. I just have this thing where I just can't stop moving. Yeah. But I'm gonna go to my bed now. I feel like that's enough Pope business for me. But I feel like we're like pretty much getting the gist of everything, right? So it's like marinate on that, and like what are your opinions on this whole Pope situation? Have a great night.